As you can tell, as you can clearly see, this tank's kind of mucky. And I started to scrape it with a razor blade up here, and it's kind of tough. I'm sure I could do it. And the further down, it probably gets a little softer, but it's been sitting dry for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. And I saw Gill's Fish Room down under post a way to clean up a tank like this. And I don't remember exactly what he did. I think he put a razor blade on a scraper or something. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But anyway, I suggested vinegar. And so that's what I'm gonna do here. This is a 20-gallon tank. I'm gonna fill this just with plain old tap water. And I'm gonna put about I think I'll put 2 cups of just plain old white household vinegar in it and let it soak overnight. It's, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific right now on Saturday the 4th. Happy New Year, no kidding, huh? And we'll come back tomorrow and see if that really softened all this up. And hopefully I won't even need the razor blade. Hopefully I'll be able to do it with the backside of one of those green scrubby, you know, the yellow scrubby or sponge with the green scrubby side to it. The blue ones too, same. But I got the yellow with the green. So we'll try that. We'll be back tomorrow and see how this goes. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to verify what I suggested to someone else. All right, well, here we are. Plain old distilled white household vinegar and 2 cups. And I'm just gonna add that to the tank. And we'll let it go till tomorrow, about 24 hours. That should soften everything nicely. That should be enough. And if it's not, then I'm not gonna drain it all. What I'll do is add more white vinegar and see if that's what it needs, is a little stronger solution. And so I thought, out of curiosity, how much would 2 cups of vinegar drop the pH in 20 gallons of water? So these are the API test strips. The one on the left is out of this tank. The one on the right is the tap water, and it's the middle. So the one in the tank is really yellow, and it is, I'm gonna have to put this up here so I can set this down. It's off the API scale. See the pH? It's actually somewhere up here. And tap water, somewhere around 7.5. Okay, so that's a big drop. All right, well, here we are. It's been 2 days instead of 24 hours I was gonna come back. Excuse me. And I went looking online, and Gill's was about a month ago when I commented, and he was working on, it looked like about a 15-gallon, and I'd have to do the liter assessment there, conversion. And he was talking about wiping it down with vinegar and trying to soften it that way. And I suggested putting about a liter of vinegar into the tank, just let it sit overnight. What I ended up putting in here was 2 cups of vinegar. So it's considerably less than what I suggested to him. But let's see how it works. Let's see, since it's been sitting 24 hours, we checked the pH. The pH is pretty low, so it's quite an acidic environment. It should soften all this up. So let me put you on the tripod and we shall see how this works. All right, and Gill made a comment in his about using a razor blade. And the dangers involved, aside from chopping a finger off, also maybe dislodging some of the silicone in the corners of the tank. I couldn't agree more. So I've got the green scrubby sponge, and I'm going to set this razor blade down here on one of the horizontal braces on this shelf, and I'll never find it again. So I'm going to try this scrubby sponge, and we'll see after 48 hours if this works. And it is working, and I am putting quite a bit of pressure on this. Gill, if I misled you, I don't know. It's working. It's doing the trick. My hand is in this vinegar water. It's probably going to start burning after a little bit, huh? I'm wondering if what I need to do is up the dosage another couple cups of vinegar to soften this up a little more. But I want to get this side. This is just kind of whitish. The back side over here nearest me is the side that was most covered with algae. So it's going to take a little time. It is working. and it's coming out nice and clean, but it is taking a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of effort. So let's see what it does on this side here. Same, this is really baked on. So I let this tank sit out of water for, I don't know, a couple weeks. That's probably maybe the takeaway lesson here. Don't do that. It's cleaning slowly. And here where it's really baked on and green, it's tough. So I think what I'm gonna do, maybe add some more vinegar to this, or maybe, just maybe, try something completely different. Because that's why we're here, to learn different methods of doing different things. None of which, as some people seem to get into that whole gospel thing, it's not gospel, what works for you. And this is working just like mediocrely. I don't know if that's a word or not. And it might be a whole lot easier too if I drained the tank, took it off the rack, set it on its side so I could put some pressure on it. But I'm also thinking maybe drain it out, rinse the vinegar out, fill it with water again, and pour some bleach in. See how that works. So I think I might do that. So we're going to take that to the next level. And while I'm here, just because I want to see what a razor blade does to some of this now that we're in here, and see if we can not cut ourselves, because we don't want sharks showing up. And oh great, yeah, okay. Probably a better way to do it is get the tank scraper out. Yeah, that works pretty well. That actually works pretty well. So then the key would be don't get too close to the silicone, and come back and do that with the sponge to where, and we're going to leave a lot behind. I can see streaks because it's hard to see what's going where. But maybe I will do this end. You can see it coming off pretty well, but I'm stopping short of the silicone at the bottom because I do not want to dislodge that. I do not want to have to try and reseal this tank. I know how. I'd rather not have to do it though, that's all. But as I push down, I can go from clean glass up here to when you hit this, all of a sudden it feels like you're going over sandpaper. And that's the baked on algae, or dried on algae. But it's detaching from the glass. And you can see it all floating in the water now too. So it is working, and this is not the worst thing. And Gill's thing was about salvaging a used tank. And if you can find, used tanks online, Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, or sitting at the curb in front of somebody's house on trash day, and they're covered with this stuff. Well, this is not a bad way to go about cleaning it up. And I'm saying this end is clean now, and I'm going to break the sponge back out just to go down the silicone. Silicone always seems to get stained with some algae anyway. And maybe just do the broad strokes with this. Let's see how that works on this backside too. Actually, this takes it right off. I was hoping the sponge would do the job faster because it's a broader surface, but this takes it right off. Because it's so thick, I can see where it skips and come back to it real easy. Not bad. So there you are, Gill. I'll clean the other two sides after we're done here, and I'll siphon all this out and I'll run it onto the lawn outside because the vinegar will not hurt that. In fact, it acts as a kind of a fertilizer here. So anyway, I'm going to finish this up. That was kind of I think a cool process. You actually got to see it happen. So vinegar and water does work. And again, I put this 20-gallon tank, and I put 2 cups, that's all, 2 cups of vinegar. And I thought it would be soft enough to use the back of this sponge. Yeah, it took a lot more effort than just using a single edge razor blade, carefully. All right, so here we are with the 2 sides, or one end, I should say. And this stuff's on the outside here. It's like mud splashing. I don't know where that came from. And then this one side cleaned up nicely, and that's all the stuff I scraped off sitting at the bottom now. I left the air stone running in here. I figured it couldn't hurt. So as always, thanks for looking. And Gill, I hope it helps. You inspired me, so hopefully I can, return the favor. All right, cheers.